Sorry for starting a little late. Welcome to the Rock Steady Boxing program. This is going to be a strength-only workout using a combination of bands and dumbbells. Today's workout is going to require some equipment. Like I said, after speaking through most of you, you do have either bands or some type of a dumbbell at your house, so we're going to go ahead and use those as the two things. If you use bands or TheraBands, tubing, any kind, make sure you inspect your equipment before using it. This will wear out over time. So for most of the just home use, it takes a long time, but for more commercial use, where it's being used every day, it does happen quite often. So make sure you inspect the end of the tubing to make sure that there's no corrosions, cracks, that there's no tears, rips, or anywhere in the handle or throughout the tubing. For the dumbbells, just make sure they're in good condition. Make sure they're not rusty. There's no sharp edges. Some of us, they may have been sitting in the basement for a few years, so now we're digging them out that we're working out at home. Now, if you do not have that other equipment, let me talk about some other things that you can use. Basically, anything that has weight and possibly a handle. Some of the basics would be a can of soup. Make sure that it's small enough so that you can get a good grip on it. We do curls, lateral raises, overhead press, anything. The other good standby would be water, either a smaller water bottle or a gallon jug. And then you can fill it to whatever weight that you want. And as long as you can have a good grip on the handle, you can do whatever exercises you'd like. Another option would be if you want something a little heavier, or if those just don't really work for you, any type of bag or luggage or backpack. I will demonstrate just with a grocery bag that I bought. You can just fill it with whatever you want, maybe 2 or 3 cans. And same thing. Again, anything with a handle, luggage, backpacks, a nice sturdy bag. I probably would want to use something cloth over plastic just on the off chance that it might rip. I do not want you to smash a toe. So let's go ahead and get started. My name is Coach Chris, and I am a certified Rock Steady boxing coach and clinical exercise specialist here at Comber Physical Therapy and Fusion Chiropractic in Williamsburg, Virginia. Today we are going to be splitting it up into 6 different main body parts: chest, back, shoulders, arms, core, and legs, not quite in that order. And for each one we're going to do 2 exercises, so that's a total of 12 exercises total for the workout. Now for reps and sets, since we're not working out in a gym, we're doing it at home, we're kind of improvising some of the weights, so some of the weights may be a little too heavy or maybe too light. So today I'm going to demonstrate with just 3 sets of 10. You may want to experiment to find out what's appropriate for you. Some exercises you may find 3 sets of 10 may be way too light, in which case you may want to increase the repetitions or sets. Do 3 sets of 20, 4 sets of 20. If it's too heavy for you and you don't have the option of going lighter, you may want to reduce the sets. Do 3 sets of 5, 3 sets of 6. This workout is going to be fairly short. So this would be a good thing to do if you only have a 15-20 minutes. Don't want to commit up to a full hour of a cardio-based workout. Let's go ahead and get started then. If you have not cleared yourself to participate in a physical activity through your physician, we do highly recommend that. Having said that, as we move forward, if you feel anything uncomfortable or painful, or if there is a body part that you are working through, some pain and discomfort, go ahead and skip the exercise. Today we're going to start off with our legs. We're just going to do a squat or sit to stand. For that, we're going to start with our feet shoulder width apart, feet flat on the floor. Make sure your chest is up, head is up. I'm going to initiate it first by leaning forward, bringing my nose over my toes, and nice and smooth, come to a complete stand and back down. Let's go ahead and go for a set 10. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to position the camera just a little farther away. There we go. Start at your own pace. Now I'm using a chair, but if you do not want to use a chair, that is fine as well. And good. Go ahead and rest. We're going to do 2 more sets of 10 with short breaks in between. When you're watching this by yourself and it's a rebroadcast, pause it as long as you need to kind of recover. So, from more of a side view, again, we're going to start with our feet flat on the ground, shoulder width apart, chest up, head up, lean forward, get our weight going forward, and nice and smooth, come to a stand, full stand, chest up, head up, and then back. Set 10. Make sure that you're balanced, that you pause at the top and the bottom. Make sure that you demonstrate control. If you'd like to make this more difficult, you can go ahead and hold on to something, dumbbells, bands. You can either hold a dumbbell or a weight right in your hand down here, or chamber it right up by the shoulder. And good. Again, take a little break. I'll demonstrate with some dumbbells. And last set. Set 10. Make sure your chest is up, feet flat, shoulder width apart, and up. Down. And same thing, leaning forward first, coming to a stand, to sit. Initiate first by tucking the hips down and back. If you're using a chair or a sofa, make sure that your heels are touching the edge before you sit down. 5 more. Almost there. And good. Sit-to stands or squats are really a great overall workout for the entire leg, front, back. It can incorporate the glutes a little bit as well. Now let me show you something that you can do for more inside thighs. What it's going to be is a lateral lunge. See how I'm going to demonstrate this. So I'm going to use a chair. You could also use a counter, the back of a couch, anything that's stable and safe to help support you, give you a little bit of security in the motion, and also can help take some of the weight off of the legs as well. So what I'm going to do, move up. So here's the edge of the chair. My toes are right up to that edge. Both feet are facing forward. I'm going to tuck my hips down and back, leaning towards one side. I'm going to hold on to the chair for a little balance. Come back up and lean to the other side. Let's go ahead and do a set 10. Again, I'm using the chair for a little balance and security. If it's very difficult, you can go ahead and use it to help take some of the weight off of the legs as you come down and kind of divide up the work. Just leaning to one side. You'll note, keep going, and break. When I come to the side, first thing that's going to happen is I'm going to tuck my hips down and back. My knee is not going any farther than over my toes. My hips are coming back. So instead of shooting forward like this, I'm coming back into almost a sitting position. All right, second round. Same thing. Feet wide apart. Toes facing forward. Chest up. Have something in front of you if you'd like. I'm going to demonstrate just for visuals without anything in front of me. You know, laterally flex to one side and up. Shifting all the weight onto one side. The leg that's bent, you're going to feel a lot of tension. The leg that's straight, you're going to feel a little bit of a stretch on the inner thigh. And again, we're going to do about 10 of them. And again, I'm demonstrating just so that you can see without anything in front of me, but you can go ahead and hold on to a counter, chair, end of a sofa. Good. All right, quick little break. Last one. If you'd like to make it a little more difficult and you're not using anything in front of you, you can also add a little bit of weight. So, starting position again. Feet are wide apart, toes facing forward. I'm going to come to one side, bring the weight on either side of the knee, come to a complete stand, chest up, head up, and over to the other side. 2, 3, 4. Now this is a more advanced, but I want to show all the different options. 8, 9, and I believe this should be 10. Good. All right, so that's the legs done and out of the way. Chest. We're just going to do the standard push-up for what we usually do in class, which is going to be a modified push-up where it's elevated. If you place your hands on a wall, that is the easiest. Hands a little lower on a counter or back of the couch is a little harder. Hands on a chair is even a little more difficult. And of course, hands on the floor would be the most difficult. So, I'm going to demonstrate on something that's about counter height. So, what we're going to do, if you remember in class, hands shoulder width apart, walk your feet out, lift your chest up, create a straight line from your shoulders to your hips, all the way down to your ankles, so don't sag in or stick your butt out. And come down, bringing your chest right between where both your hands are, and a nice gentle push up. Let's go for set 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Perfect. A little bit of rest. Like I said, the easiest way is going to be with your hands against the wall. A little more difficult, hands for something maybe about waist height, which would usually be a counter or back of a couch. Harder would be on the chair. Even more difficult would be on the floor. All right, round 2. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. Second chest movement is going to be a fly. I'll first demonstrate it with a dumbbell, and then I'll demonstrate it with a cable or band, and then we'll go from there. For the fly, what I'm going to have you do is you're going to go ahead and lie down. If you're comfortable using the floor, you can use the floor. If not, I recommend using your bed. From this position, I'm going to bring the weights over my chest. Make sure that the weights stay over your chest and not directly over your head. From here, I'm going to do a nice, smooth, wide motion, coming out wide with my elbows stopping once they hit the ground, and a nice, smooth motion forward. You're going to have about a 20-degree angle between your upper and lower arm. That would be the version with dumbbells. With a cable, it's a little trickier, but probably the easiest way would be to see if you can anchor it on anything secure. Stand in front of it, or I'm going to do seated just because of the height of it. Bring your weights, hands out front, just as if you had the dumbbells. And again, they're going to be in front of the chest, not the head. And a nice smooth motion wide and together. This would be a chest fly. So, let's go ahead and begin. I'll show the first set with cables, and I'll show the second set with the dumbbells, and then the third set I'll finish off with dumbbells. All right, and 1, Make sure your chest is up. 2. Good posture. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Now, good trick I've learned to help anchor these. You could do them in a doorway. For me, I take one of the 4,000 to 5,000 dress socks that I have of only one because I don't know where the other ones go. I will tie it around in a knot, slip the knot on the other side of the door handle, and then close it in, and that'll hold it securely. Make sure the knot is a good tight knot so that it doesn't slide out as you're doing the exercises. Let's do the second set, and like I said, I'm going to demonstrate the same exercise only with a dumbbell. And ready, set, go, and 1, nice and wide. 2, 3, make sure you breathe with every movement. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. All right, brief little break. Got one more set. Like I said, make sure that you breathe with every movement. Ideally, you want to exhale out during the most difficult part of the exercise. But if you cannot determine what is the most difficult part of the exercise, the most important thing is just not stop breathing. All right, one more time. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Very good. All right, moving on to back. So what we're going to demonstrate is a single arm dumbbell row. Now this might be something you need a little heavier weight for, in which case I might recommend a grocery bag or a piece of luggage or something that you can put some cans in or something to add a little weight. We are just going to be doing a single arm row, so you will only need one. I will go ahead and demonstrate first with the dumbbell, then with a cable, and then with an improvised piece of equipment. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have something in front of me, either the counter, a chair, something I can put my hand on. I'm going to lean forward. Now the bulk of the weight is on my legs and on my hands. My low back, there's not really too much pressure on. I'm supporting the weight of my upper torso with my hand. The weight is starting directly underneath my shoulder. And what you're going to do is you're going to bring it back to your front pocket. Bring it back underneath the shoulder, and that is going to be a single arm dumbbell row. Let's go ahead and continue on. That's 2. We're going to do a set of 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Very good. Now demonstrate the other side. Stagger your stance. I'm going to use a chair this time. Lean forward. The bulk of my weight is on my hand and legs. My low back is not stressed. Hand is right underneath the shoulder, and pull it back to your front pocket. Back underneath the shoulder. Try to keep your back straight. And 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and again, right underneath the shoulder, back to the front pocket. One more, and good. All right. Now I'll demonstrate the same motion with a band. Now, of course, if you're at home and you have just one piece of equipment, stick with that piece of equipment. Or if you have multiple ones, just stick with one you like. I'm just doing this for demonstration purpose. I'm going to go ahead and loop the cable underneath my foot. One end is just going to be an anchor end, the other end, which is going to be the working hand, which is going to be this hand. And it's going to be the same motion that I did with the dumbbell, starting right underneath the shoulder and pulling it to my hip and back. Making sure your back is straight, that you're not hunching forward. Chest is up, head is up. We're going to go for a set of 10. I think that should be about 6 for me. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Other side. Now I have it kind of staggered, so that's about where I'm holding it with my foot down at the bottom of the loop. Staggering my stance, leaning forward, and pull it back to your hip, and come forward. Set of 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. All right. Now, third set I will demonstrate, which is an improvised piece of equipment, which is just going to be a grocery bag. I'm going to loop my hand through just to make the handle a little shorter. Same position, staggering my stance. My hand is supporting the weight of my upper torso, starting with it right underneath my shoulders and pulling it to my hip. You can go ahead and put whatever you'd like that has a little bit of weight in here. Water bottles, cans of soup, rocks, whatever you have in your house. One more, and that's 10 for me. Switch hands, adjust the handle so it's comfortable for me, stagger my stance, starting with it right underneath my shoulder, my back is straight, and pull it to my hip, back underneath the shoulder. Pull it to my hip, back underneath my shoulder. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Perfect. All right. Next one. It's going to be shrugs. These are going to be their upper trapezius right through here. First I'll demonstrate with dumbbells. What I'm going to have you do, hold the weight down by your side, arms straight, chest up, shoulders back, and just like you're shrugging your shoulders like you're saying, I don't know, going to lift the shoulder blades up and down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Same motion with the band. I'm going to have it about equal. Take both feet, step down on the center of the band. Make sure that your feet are centered over the band, that it's not going to slip up. And again, good posture, chest up. Back up just a hair. And shrug up and down. Just like you're saying, I don't know. All the movement is coming from my upper back, not my arms. My arms are straight. To bend the elbow would be a different exercise. A few more. Keep it up. Chest up, good posture. And good. Last set, I will demonstrate seated. And again, just make sure you're sitting up nice and tall, and bring your shoulder blades up and down. Just like you're saying, I don't know. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Perfect. Let's rest for a second. We're going to move on to shoulders. So the first movement I'm going to be doing is going to be an overhead press. For this, I'm going to have you sit with your, or stand. I'll demonstrate first seated. Feet shoulder width apart, feet flat on the ground. Chest up, shoulders back, head up. We're going to bring our arms laterally out to the side, and just a nice, gentle, slow push up and down. Set of 10. One thing that you may need to practice is pushing straight up. A lot of people have a tendency to push forward and out in front of them. I want you to imagine as if you had a plate, like you were a waiter. You're going to have your wrist directly over your elbow. And what I mean by that is if I'm pushing straight up, my wrist is going to be directly over my elbow. People have a tendency to rock their elbow back and bring their wrist forward and push out and up at an angle. So make sure you bring that elbow forward, that you're pushing straight up. Let's go ahead and demonstrate that motion with a band. I'm going to step with both feet directly over the center of the band. Bring it out to the side, bringing the band behind my elbows. Chest is up, good posture, and bring your hands up and back. Same exact motion, just using a band instead of dumbbells. Posture is very important for shoulders, so make sure your chest is up, head is up, and you're continuing to breathe with each motion. And perfect. All right, last one I will demonstrate with the improvised piece of equipment. I'm just going to be using a water jug. Feet are going to be shoulder width apart. Now since I only have one, I'm going to demonstrate with one. I'll just do 10 with one and 10 with the other. So I'm going to place my hand on my thigh to kind of make sure that I keep my chest up, shoulders up. Make sure the lid is tight. Hand out to the side and overhead press. 2, 3. Notice you try to keep everything level. I'm not rotating and twisting as I'm going. That is going to be one of the keys, that as you do your strength motions, that you maintain a strong core and that you're moving the weight, that the weight isn't moving you. Now these again are tips mainly for beginners and intermediates. If you YouTube a lot of different workouts, you'll see all different types of versions of these same exercises with little tweaks. Perfect. Just make sure that you're watching videos that are meant for your goals and where you are at. All right, next movement is going to be a lateral raise. Again, I'm going to demonstrate with a dumbbell first. Feet are going to be on the floor, chest is going to be up, shoulder blades slightly back, head up. I'm going to raise my hands out laterally to the side and down. You can kind of see the position of the weight. I'm keeping it level. Again, this is one of the things that you will see all different versions of, some of them safer than others. But I feel level is probably going to be the best thing for just your basic lateral raise. And good. We're not competing in a fitness contest or anything, and we're not power lifters, so we're just worried about general function and fitness. All right, I'll demonstrate the same thing again. This time with a band. Both feet are going to step about in the middle of the foot, fully covering the band, making sure that it's secure. Again, chest up, shoulders back, good posture. Raise your hands out to the side and down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Notice the hand position. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Perfect. Last time I'm going to just use an improvised piece of equipment. I'm going to use a can of soup. And I'll do one-handed. And again, good posture, chest up, shoulders back, and laterally raise to the side and down. You may want to do just singles when you're watching the rebroadcast of this. It's a lot easier to really focus in on the muscle and make sure you have better form, whether using a band, dumbbell, or improvised weight. Good. Other side. Again, good posture, chest up, head up. Just raising the arm laterally. I usually stop when my shoulder, wrist, and elbow are all at shoulder level. Two more. And good. All right, moving right along. Arms. We'll do one exercise for each, one for the bicep, one for the tricep. We've done these in classes, so you should all know the curl. What I'm going to do is I'll demonstrate first with a dumbbell. You can do it seated or standing, whichever you prefer. I'm going to rotate my palms forward, make sure that I have room. And for a full range of motion, you're going to come up, bringing it all the way up to the top of the shoulder, and extend the arm all the way down. Now, you don't need to fully lock out the arm. I would actually recommend that you never lock out a joint under stress. And just a nice, but I still want you to go through a full range of motion. So set 10. This is 4 for me. 5. 6. Make sure you keep chest up, head up. 7. 8. And 9. And 10. Perfect. With the band, same thing. I'm going to find the center. Make sure both feet are securely on the band. Now, I'm going to have to widen my feet just a little bit to increase the tension on the band. The closer your feet are, the easier it is. The wider the feet are, the less band is available, so the more tension will be there. And again, full range of motion as possible. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. All right. Of course, you can use the same thing with a can, water bottle, or a piece of luggage, anything with a handle. I'll demonstrate single arm. And 1. Again, full range of motion. 2. Chest is up. Head is up. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. For the back of the arms, what we're going to do is called a kickback. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lean forward. I'm going to go ahead and use the table. You can use the back of a couch, back of a chair, whatever you'd like, just to make sure that as I do the exercise, I don't slowly start to stand more upright as I go. I'm going to move my elbow up so it's the same level as my shoulder, so there should be a straight line from the shoulder to elbow. And I'm going to extend my hand straight back and then bring the weight back. Make sure that your elbow stays up at the same level as the shoulder. People have a tendency to drop it down as they go. So make sure it's up and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. I use the back of the chair. 1, make sure that elbow is up nice and high. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. Now I'll demonstrate with the dumbbell. Look almost exactly the same. Make sure, too, that you're moving the weight, that it's not moving you. I'm forcefully contracting my muscle, holding it when I push back, and a nice controlled motion forward. So it's not a swinging motion, but I'm controlling it as it comes up and as it comes down. Perfect. Other side. So that's it. Now, like I said, I'm just sticking with sets of 10. As you're working out, you may need to vary that to continue to feel challenged. You may not have a lot of weights at home, so you'll have to stick with the same weight for right now, or resist a band. Now for the band, it's going to be the same thing, very similar to the single arm rows. I'm going to step onto the band. I'm going to anchor one hand, be a working hand. Just going to start right underneath the shoulder, bring my elbow up, and extend the arm out. And 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Perfect. Now, when I step on the band, it's going to be more like this, with this side being the working side. Again, make sure you step on the band fully. Make sure it's not going to slide out from underneath your foot. Lean forward. Support your upper torso. Bring your elbow up and extend out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. All right, last two exercises for your core. What we're going to do first is a plank. And again, just like the push-ups, you can do it against the wall, which will be the easiest. You can do it on a table, counter, chair, bed, which would be a little harder. And of course, the floor would be the most difficult. I will demonstrate on the table that I have here that is about the height of a counter or table. I'm going to place, well, let's do hands. Just like the beginning of a push-up position, hands are going to be shoulder width apart, and we're just going to hold. Pull in your stomach, sucking in your belly button towards your belly button, or sorry, towards your spine, and we're going to hold. Now I'm just going to do a 10-second count, but you may want to do longer. Perfect. All right. I'm going to make it a little more challenging by lowering my level, and instead of doing it on my hands, I'm going to do it on my elbows. Walk your feet out. Chest up. Again, create a straight line from your shoulders to your hips all the way down to your ankles. Pull in your stomach. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. We'll do one more time. Short little breaks. Again, take as much time as you need to in between each set to recover. And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 2. Perfect. Last one of my favorites. Kind of like a crunch, but seated. I'm going to use a chair, but you could use a sofa or anything that you'd like where you can sit. Feet are going to be out in front of me actually a little bit, flat on the floor. Make sure they stay flat. My back is going to be straight. I'm going to go ahead and bring my hands across my chest. I'm going to sitting about the middle of my chair, leaning back until my back touches the chair, and then I'm going to contract my abs and come forward. During this entire motion, my feet are going to remain flat on the floor. Let's go for a set 10 and go. 1, 2. As you rock back, contract your abs, breathe out, and use your core to bring you to an upright position again. I think this is like 6 or 7 for me. Say 8, 9, and 10. Excellent. Quick little break. We're going to do 2 more sets. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10. Good. And last one, I'm going to make it a little harder. I'm going to scoot just an inch forward. Even though I'm only moving an inch, it is going to make a rather large difference. So back straight and come back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, that concludes the strength-only full-body workout. Again, use your imagination of what you can use for weights and how to make it more challenging or easier as you need to kind of mold it to what you need. If you have any questions, please make sure that you comment on the link below, and I'll make sure that I answer them. Thank you for coming and watching. Have a wonderful day.